Hello everybody and welcome to the GKaiser Age. This is the Gunpla Build Mechanics series and my name is Lucian GKaiser. Today we're going to be taking a look at another of the Bandai high-grade Gundam Build Divers Re Gunpla Model Kits. This is the core Gundam real type Gundam colors, alternate version, and the Mars armor, which combine to make the Marsfour Gundam. So let's get started. GKaiser Age launching. This is the core Gundam in real type Gundam alternate colors from Gundam Build Divers Re, the latest Gundam animated series at the time of this video. This is the core Gundam built and piloted by the main character Hiroto Kuga into battle with expert control. In my Earth 3 Gundam Gunpla Build Mechanics review, I went into great detail about the core Gundam itself, and since this core Gundam is the same aside from color, check out that review link below for more details about the core Gundam. The core Gundam in this kit is colored in the RX-78 real Gundam type colors like the Earth 3 core Gundam, but with an alternate take on some of those colors. The bright yellow parts are now colored a nice golden orange on the Marsfour core Gundam, and it also has a darker shade of red for the waist that helps set its colors apart from the Earth 3 core Gundam. Also, the jewel on the chest for each core Gundam so far has been different, and in this case it is now a yellow golden color. In the show itself, it doesn't change into this color, but I think it's awesome of Bandai to make each core Gundam a different color from the RX-78 series of Gundams. It comes with the same core beam spray gun with great quality of detail like the previous core Gundams, but it does not include the parts to make the full core beam rifle. The core shield is also included, but like the V2 Gundam, does not come with the other parts in order to make the full core shield. You can still use the full beam rifle parts and shield parts from the Earth 3 Gundam with this one, though they are different colors. The core beam sabers are still included, which when deployed in the core Gundam mode have limited output, so they use only short beam blades, which come in a nice yellow color as you see here. It also is armed with the core beam Vulcans mounted on the head, allowing the core Gundam to intercept missiles and lightly armored targets. As you can see here, the core Gundam has a lot of great flexibility and posability. The head can move around this much. You can see a lot of great articulation there. And then with the arms, you also get a lot of great range of movement and articulation with the arms, including of course a double bend at the elbow and some very nice bend and twist at the upper arm, and of course with the shoulders they can move forward and back, and that is just makes for a great range, allowing for some great posability with the arms. And then moving on to the waist, there's no waist crunch, so you just get a little bit of a waist swivel, which is fine. And then with the legs, as you can see with the legs, you get a nice spread, not too bad. You also get a bend at the knee, which is really nice. So you get a nice bit of flex with that. And with the upper thigh rotation that we showed earlier, you can also get some great poses. And then with the feet, you get some very nice mobility with the feet. And the ankles are very specially designed, mostly for the transformation, but because of this design, it also presents a very unique ankle and foot design, so that way you can get some extreme poses and flexibility out of those as well. Now that we're done looking at the core Gundam, let's move on to the Planet System support flyer carrying the Mars armor. This is the Planet System Support Flyer Unit, specifically made by Hiroto for carrying the different Planet System armors along with the core Gundam into battle. This one has the Mars armor mounted on it, and it is included in the Marsfour core Gundam model kit. The Planet System Support Flyer unit can be remotely controlled by Hiruto, but in the show he admits it is hard to pilot his Gundam and operate the flyer at the same time. It is a very cool looking design and a very unique unit in the world of Gundam, and I love the way it looks with the core Gundam mounted on it. The Mars armor is supported by the Mars Weapon Support System, a unit carrying a set of physical melee weapons for the Marsfour Gundam that can be mounted on the support flyer unit. I picked up a set of support weapons from the Gundam Build Divers series that comes with manipulator arms, which I use to mount the core Gundam to the support flyer unit. Usually in the show, the core Gundam is seen either mounted on top of the support flyer unit, or is usually holding on to it via its hand while being carried into battle, but I like this look a lot better. The system support flyer unit comes with a small basic stand, but it can be mounted on various Bandai display stands, which allow for some more dynamic poses. Now, it's time to unleash the brutal melee power of this Gunpla. Go core docking! Core Gundam to Marsfour Gundam. This is the Marsfour Gundam, combination of the core Gundam, the Mars Planet System armor mounted with the Marsfour support weapons backpack. As a heavy melee focused mobile suit armed with physical and B melee weapons, the Marsfour Gundam has become one of my favorite melee focused Gundams. The Marsfour support weapons backpack is sold separately from the Marsfour Gundam, but the price of the Gundam and the support weapons are low enough that you can get both of them together for around $20 to $25, which I think is still a pretty good price. The weapons backpack has adapter pieces included with it, so you can mount it on other Gunpla, and these pieces are included with the other support weapon backpacks for the other Planet System armors. This allows you to do some really awesome configurations and combinations using these pieces and pieces from other kits. I love the details on this model kit. There are a lot of nice panel line details, and the nub placement on it really keeps them out of sight for the most part, which is really nice for a high grade Gunpla. It feels very solid, though it still has a slight issue with the shoulders being a little bit loose, not as bad as the previous ones. The forearms are still not wanting to stay firmly connected, so when you're posing them, sometimes the forearm pieces will fall off as part of the transformation. They just kind of connect together, but they don't seem to stay as firmly as they should. And of course, the front skirt pieces are still an issue like the other Gundams from this line. Now, because these parts tend to pop off, I'm looking into possibly doing a little bit of paint on the inside just to make them attach a little bit better, and I'll let you guys know in a future video how that turns out. But for right now, let's continue on with the review and the details on this Gundam and Gunpla. Standing at an impressive 19.1 meters in the show, taller than the other two core Gundams before it, the Marsfour Gundam is an impressive and powerful looking melee Gundam. Here it is with the high grade GM, and then the real grade Gundam Mark II, and they look great together. But even better, let's go ahead and have him stand together with the Master of 7 Swords, the real grade Exia. And I have to admit, I love how cool they look together, and I can only imagine how much destruction these two melee monster mobile suits could cause with all their swords. The posability of the Marsfour Gundam is the same as the previous Gundams in this line, and you can see there's a great range of motion on all the parts of this particular Gundam series. The core Gundams are really great and have some really great posability, and I really appreciate that. It's really showing that Bandai is taking into appreciation their new techniques for creating some very, very good frames and everything for their Gunpla model kits, even their high grade ones. I really enjoy the fact that I can get this into some really dynamic poses thanks to all the double bends at the elbows, the double bends at the knees, the range of motion for both the legs and the arms and the head. It really helps you strike some really dynamic, awesome looking melee poses. The feet are also really nicely detailed. They actually made sure to do the reinforced grip spikes at the front and the back, which are used to maintain maximum grip when it's maneuvering and swinging its heavy melee weapons. They even have serrated parts molded onto the feet of the model kit, which is really awesome detail. The Marsfour Gundam is close combat melee fighting machine designed for high-speed physical combat with great mobility, physical heavy melee weapons, and armor comparable to that of the Earth 3 Gundam. According to the technical specifications, there are acceleration devices built into the Marsfour Gundam. These allow it to accelerate extremely fast, making it a monster in melee combat. It's able to swing its weapons at full power quickly from the get-go and react quickly to any kind of counterattacks. Speaking of weapons, let's take a look at all the weapons it comes armed with, not only on its body, but along with the Marsfour Support Weapons backpack. The core beam sabers are the same as the other core Gundam beam sabers, but since the Gundam has a high power output, that beam sabers are no longer restricted to short blades. With the full beam saber, it can easily slash through most mobile suit armor, and the Gunpla comes with the effect parts for the longer blades. The beam sabers are just the backup to the really powerful melee weapons equipped on the Marsfour Gundam. The forearms are equipped with claw shield units, reinforced armor designed to absorb attacks while also being able to deploy razor-sharp, armor-piercing claws. With these, the Marsfour Gundam can not only defend, it can also attack easily at close range, along with using the claws to pierce weak spots on an enemy mobile suit. It's a really cool design, and the model kit shows and retains a lot of good detail on them. These claws are also present on the shins and on the shoulders of the Marsfour Gundam, allowing it to deal massive damage with its kicks and shoulder charges. It also comes with a pair of swords called the Slash Blades, purposely built for the Marsfour Gundam. They are basically physical swords with razor-sharp reinforced edges designed to cut through light to medium armor. In case something can't be cut by their sword edge, they have built-in beam generators in the handles that allow them to generate beam blades and to launch beam bullets. The output is not as high as the actual core beam sabers, but more than enough to damage enemy mobile suits. I love the look of these blades. It's not often that you see curved swords in Gundam, and I think Katra from Gundam Wing would find these pretty cool. You can put the beam saber blades that come with this kit into the hilts of the Slash Blades, but because one of them is different from the other, the beam blade effect part doesn't fit in it as well. It's actually kind of canted to the side a bit because of the specific design of that particular Slash Blade. The reason for this difference between the hilts is because of something special the Slash Blades can do. The Slash Blades can also combine together, as you see here, for the Over Slash Blade, a double-sided curved greatsword with beam generators now interlocked. This is pretty cool looking in my opinion, and you can have the Marsfour Gundam hold this heavy weapon with just one hand, though the problem with the hands really raises its ugly head when it comes to this Gundam. Normally, I would recommend the model glue to keep them together, but for the Marsfour Gundam, I would not. Mainly because the handles on these melee weapons require that you take the hand apart to fit the hand due to the base of each handle having an extension on it. Now, this is my favorite set of weapons. The Heat Rev Sword and the Heat Rev Axe. Heavily reinforced razor-sharp weapons with the ability to generate a blazing red-hot edge that can easily melt through armor, allowing them to slice through even the armor on a mobile armor or battleship. I really wish Bandai could have figured out a way to do like a clear plastic red edge that you could replace the normal deactivated edge with, but I am still happy with how awesome these weapons look. They have a lot of great detail on them, and they can replicate the look from the show very well. And with the handles being a pretty standard size, you can even use them with other Gunpla, much like the Slash Blades and the Over Slash Blade. The two weapons, like the slash blades, can combine to make the hard heat rev sword, a massive great sword where the two heat rev generators combine to double the output of the heat generated to slash through pretty much any enemy armor. And this mobile suit can hold it with two hands, though I have to admit, with the hands popping off and with the forearms popping apart, it is extremely difficult to get it into a two-handed pose with this weapon, which is kind of dissatisfying because there's just not enough play in the length of the arms and with the shoulders to get it to hold with both hands, and with the, of course, handle, instead of being a round one, being squared, that makes it even harder with the hands popping apart constantly while you're trying to pose it. But I managed to do it for this review, so believe me, it took a lot of frustrating time to do it. And that's one of the downsides to this kit, is with those hands, I'm thinking I might just round off the handle with a little sanding, just so that it fits into the hands a little bit better, but at the same time that may make it so that the handle doesn't hold the swords individually very well. So I'm going to look into it more. Maybe I'll let you guys know in a video down the road. But let's continue forward. The Marsfour Gundam is definitely a beast of a melee weapons mobile suit, and I would say definitely Setsuno FSA would approve of it. It has great posability, and with the option parts, you can easily add on other weapons to it. You can combine some of its backpack parts with the other, of course, Gundams from the core Gundam series to make some very customized builds. While the hands still are not the best, at least they are still standard size with other mobile suits, and so that way you can find more customizing fun using other melee weapons from other mobile suits with the Marsfour Gundam. Even if you don't like the Gundam itself, you can get the Marsfour weapon support unit by itself for around $10, and then you can use it with some of your other high-grade kits, because once again it comes with those option parts included with it to mount it on other high-grade kits. Or if you like the Marsfour Gundam itself, you can always pick it up by itself and use some of the other support weapon kits released by Bandai on it, including non-Build Divers kits, like some of the ones from the original Build Fighters expansion sets of weapons. So, in the end, I can highly recommend the core Gundam Real Type Colors Alternate and its Marsfour Gundam mode as a great Gunpla kit. It is a fun build that results in a fun Gunpla to play with. You just have to mind the hands, which aren't too bad holding just the individual weapons. It's just when you get to trying to do the double hold with the hard heat rev sword, that's where things get a little tricky. But if you definitely like this review and you like this Gunpla and you want to pick one up, check out Hobby Link Japan and the USA Gundam store, along with a few other online retailers. They still have these guys in stock, but those are the two I highly recommend. USA Gundam store is great if you're in the US and you don't want to have to deal with international shipping times or international shipping prices, but you do have to wait longer for things to be released, as they have to wait for their shipments to come from Japan and be stocked from them. But Hobby Link Japan tends to get theirs earlier, and you can order from them, but like I said, international shipping prices will apply, so you may have to wait a while to get it. Both are great websites though, and I highly recommend both of them for your Gunpla needs. I want to thank you all for joining me here in the GKaiser Age. If you enjoyed this video, then target and fire at that like button to help the channel grow, and download your thoughts into the comment section below. Also, don't forget to link up to the channel with the subscribe button and activate that bell icon if you want to be alerted by the YouTube early warning system when I upload videos, so you can engage them right away. Don't forget to use the share system to data link the video to your friends and then dock the video into your favorites. Check out the GKaiserAGE playlist data files if you want to see more videos, and also check out my links below if you want to see my Facebook page, my Imager page, my Instagram, and everything else that I have going. Again, thank you for joining me here in the GKaiserAGE. I will see you all again in the next Gundam Build Divers Re battle.